And we're back. Beerus144 here. I'm gonna try out the new Scorn of the Ice Bird, or whatever it's called, trial. We're gonna be bringing in Rivera again, and let me tell you, she really shines here. You're gonna need an AoE physical cover for this fight, and instead of using a normal one like Bosch or Merc Ramzo or Sigurd or any of those, I'm gonna be using Zargabaath. And the reason I chose Zargabaath was because he has 40% innate physical evasion. And so that comes in really handy with Rivera because she can gift him the ability to AoE cover. And he can, instead of using all those equipment slots and materia slots to build up evasion, he can just build it full of resistance, which is what this fight needs. This fight needs a lot of water, wind, and ice resistance. Again, I don't totally know how much. I don't really research these fights too much before I get into them. I mean, I do a little research, but like I don't go crazy trying to figure it out. I like to just kind of stumble my way across it. I actually beat this fight first try. I would have recorded that, but I didn't expect to win. This is such an effective team that I've put together right here, so I didn't expect to win, but I did, so I had to wait for one of my friend units to refresh and go back in the fight. So basically all we're doing here is just bursting damage down with Essers. As you can see, Zarg is evade covering everybody, and he's so awesome because he can give mitigation, his LB 50% mitigation, his cooldown 40% mitigation with high stat buffs. Zarg is a really good unit, and to be able to be doing all that while he's evade covering, it's ridiculously strong. And of course we have Sylvie. I didn't go and get her for nothing. I'm going to use her basically every fight because she's just playing the best. And Rivera is just showing off her stuff. She gives AoE heal. Sometimes if you use her heal after reverberation, it gives an AoE auto raise or re-raise, and that's just really awesome. She can gift provoke too. CG Charlotte is here for provoke. She's taken all the single target magic attacks, and she's basically resistant to most of them. She does take some damage throughout the fight. I'm not sure why. There must be something that hits really hard because it seems to make no sense to me, because everybody has basically 100 resist to earth, fire, and water, and then Sylvie is given them plus 50 with her skill, and then plus 70 with her limit burst, so everybody's basically covered there. But I think you also need to have some really high spirit, because I seem to be taking damage that is non-elemental at some point in the fight. It's a little bit later, so you're going to need to have some high spirit. Again, CG Charlotte's got a move that gives magic mitigation and a really good defense and spirit buff, so it's been working out pretty good. So this is a really solid team to do this fight with. In order to do all the missions, I believe you got to summon 2 Espers. You have to deal lightning damage, and you have to kill. There's some add-ons that show up, and you've got to kill them with a limit burst. And the only way to make those add-ons show up is to leave 2 of the little birds on the top and 2 little birds on the bottom when you cross the 50% HP threshold. When that happens, they'll become another giant bird. Basically, you'll have 3 giant birds on the screen, and you've got to kill the 2 new ones with a limit burst in order to get the UOC ticket. That's probably the hardest part about this mission, is the turns when all 3 of them are alive, because they do, even with this team that doesn't take much damage now, they do take some damage with those 3 birds. So yeah, I don't know what really else to say about this fight. Just gear your units as best you can with, if you can get 100% earth, 100% ice, water, and wind, and have an in battle buff of 50% or greater. CG Nicole would be really good here, giving 100% buff to ice and water. That's very strong there. And you could bring a Roga for another 70%. You should be able to get your gear in order to do this fight without too much trouble. You do have to watch out for a few status effects, but it's not really a big deal. Yeah, so I'm just kind of... The bird has mitigation on a few turns, and so I'm just trying to time my attacks to cross that threshold, the 50% threshold, at the right time. I don't want to do it when there's... I wasn't sure if it was 2 birds, 3 birds, or 4 birds. So I actually paused the fight here. I edited it out, but I do pause the fight at some point and go check, because I don't want to just waste time trying to figure out how to get those 2 big birds to spawn. But it is 2 birds. You need at least 2 birds on the top and 2 birds on the bottom. So I could have pushed the threshold on the next turn if I wanted to, but I wanted to play it safe. So again, Rivera, she's just making sure Zargabaath is taking all that sweet physical damage, and he's just jumping in front, and he's full of aid. So I built him full of aid. All I had to do, he's got 40% innate, and so he can equip a katana, so he gets the Kiyomori or whatever it's called, the green katana that's got 10% of aid. And he has Ring of Lucii, as well as I think it's called Protect Grappler. It's Rico's TMR, Rico Rodriguez. They're both 25%, so he's got 40 innate, and then the 2 accessories give him 50% more, so that's 90%, and then 10% from a katana. That means everything else he equips can go straight to giving himself elemental resistance, and so he's able to hit most of the resistances, as well as giving himself 100% of aid to being my AoE cover tank. And so it's just really strong. And not only is he doing that, he's not wasting turns covering. He's using his turns, giving my team general mitigation. He's using regeneration to give re-raise to my DPS just in case they die. He's also popping off his limit burst for a really nice mitigation. So I'm basically going to be running Rivera as my makeshift tank maker for a long time into the future. I mean, I was looking on the wiki, and Esther has 30% innate evade also. So there might be some fun builds where Esther could be like a counter tank of sorts, because Rivera, she can give Esther that AoE cover. Esther could cover, evade, and pop off a bunch of damage. I know it wouldn't be super effective, but it would just be fun to do, just because that's why we play this game, just to try out new and fun ways of doing stuff. So as you can see, the 3 are on the screen. You got to kind of play a little careful. The original one is got a buff on, so I don't know if I dispel it here. I think I do, because I'm always weary of buffs, because I never know how much the buff is. Like, it could be a monstrously big buff, I'm not sure. But now I'm just setting up for an LB kill on the next turn. And of course Rivera, again, giving both Esthers a bunch of LB damage. And it's 170% attack and magic buff also. So she is incredible. She's the enabler. Like, she really is. She's the one that fits on any team and just enables your party to win the fight. Your damage dealers need to do more damage, she's got it. Your DPS needs to cover, she's got it. You need a healer, she can do that. You need somebody that can give re-raise, she can do that too. She's just really good. So there we go. So there's the kill the 2 with the limit burst mission. If you're wondering why I have everything sped up, I don't have YouTube Prime or whatever it's called. Like, I haven't paid for it, so I'm not allowed to have videos over 15 minutes. So this video originally took me 28 minutes to make. It was a 28-minute fight, so if I just sped it up ×2, and it basically got it down to 15 minutes, so under the allotted time. That way I don't have to have 2 parts. Yeah, but the rest of it is basically just carries on and wins the fight. So I'll leave you guys there. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to, my Esther is all set up, ready to go for this fight. If you leave your player info in the comments, I've got about 10 friend slots reserved just for people who request it on YouTube. I've got people that are, rank 40 on my friends list, and that's fine. That's cool. use my units. That's what they're there for. If you want my units to use, you go for it. I've got a Regina that can be used. You know, I've got all kinds of support. Whatever you need, just post it in the comments. I'll even set stuff up for you guys if you want. That's what this game's all about. Just having fun and doing it together. So I hope you liked the video. Comment, like it, share it around, and yeah, have fun with it. Let me know how you beat them.